Do you know the biggest lesson I learned from what you did? We're a lot alike, you and I. You tested me. I tested you. You killed me. Oh no, wait. I guess I haven't killed you yet. Well, food for thought.
Well, hello everybody. I just saw stuff about Portal 2. Huzzah! And now we're going to talk about it. That's how we roll. So I'm here with Josh, and he's going to tell us a little bit about Portal 2. Josh, say hello, introduce yourself, and tell the people what you do.
Hi, my name is Josh Weier. I'm the project lead for Portal 2.
There it is. Now, without further ado, Portal 2 is going to be drastically different from the first insofar as gameplay mechanics and additions and upgrades. What are some of the major things, in case people live under a rock and they don't know about Portal 2 much, what are some of the major upgrades and advancements that you guys can tell us about?
Well, probably the biggest thing is the co-op experience. It's about, if you remember the length of Portal 1, just the co-op by itself, which is separate to the single-player story, is about 2 times as long as all of Portal 1. So there's a lot of new content there, and when you add another pair of portals to the mix, it's a totally different game. It's really exciting.
Now, you guys have added, you've got the orange and the blue portals they're just portals, they do their thing. And what I saw in the demo was, I saw a red portal. I don't know if that's different, or if that's just the second player. Is there a different functionality for any of the portals?
No, both the players have their own portal guns, and those work just like the single player. We chose separate colors, so it was a little easier to talk about. So one player has kind of the cooler colors, and one has some of the more hot, ready colors.
And what I saw in the demo was some blue goo that was bouncy.
Yep.
That's new. Can you tell us, is it as simple as it's blue goo that's bouncy, or do you get any sort of way to control the blue goo?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We let you control it. One of the big things we wanted to do is players learn how to use portals in the first game, so everything we put into Portal 2 is all about extending that knowledge and keeping that same simple 2-portal mechanics, but also then extending it with these new things. So yeah, you can use your portals to spray that goo around. If you've seen the excursion funnels, you can put the gel into those excursion funnels and kind of build it in this really cool blob shape and drop that on the floor. So there's a lot of really fun dynamic things you can do with it.
And as far as the complexity of the puzzles, have you guys exponentially increased the complexity of them with some of these new mechanics? Or, and I don't want this to sound in a negative in any way, or are they going to be very similar to some of the puzzles that we saw in the first game?
Well, I think when we've added so many mechanics that as they start to add on to each other, they kind of have this additive effect, but also almost sometimes a multiplicative effect where there's things that you're doing with these mechanics that you just never envisioned that would happen when you put them together. But it's always been really important to us to train players up and to make sure that every time they get a new mechanic, they know how to use it and it's fun. So when you look at the videos, even though it looks very complex, you'll be able to do those things by the end of the game. We worked really hard to make sure that was true.
And something we saw in the demo, which I was really excited about, is some of the voice acting. Very excited to see that Steve Merchant is doing the voice. And actually, what is the little orb guy that he's voicing? Does he have a name?
Wheatley.
Oh, brilliant! You made it through. Well done. Okay, follow me. We've still got work to do. At least you can't touch us back here.
No, he's a very funny guy.
Yeah.
Talks fast, talks a lot.
Yeah.
How much, just ballpark, how much I guess not dialogue, but how much stuff did you guys have recorded for him?
Well, see, that was the funny thing. We went in with I don't know, the writers would give him 3 minutes of dialogue to record, and he would go off and come up with 15 minutes of ad-lib. He was so good at it, and he was so funny too. So you'd give him a line, and he would kind of tweak it, adjust it, he'd riff on it, he'd go on forever. So there's way more stuff that he gave us that we couldn't even use. It was so plentiful. So he was just amazing to work with. And
who are some of the other people that you got doing voice?
Mm-hmm. So today we introduced Cave Johnson, who was voiced by J.K. Simmons, who was J. Jonah Jameson in Spider-Man. I'm sure you guys have seen that.
Cave Johnson here. This is a test chamber. 4 walls, ceiling, and a floor. Good enough for science. Not aperture science. Gentlemen, I give you panels. The planks of tomorrow.
So yeah, he was awesome to work with too. So yeah, you'll be seeing a little bit of him.
Are those the 2 voices in the game, or is there anybody else?
Oh no, Gladys is back.
Hello!
Oh, it's you.
You know her?
It's been a long time. How have you been?
Oh, I think she likes you.
I've been really busy being dead. You know, after you murdered me.
You did what?
Okay, look. We both said a lot of things that you're going to regret.
So basically, Portal 2 picks up some indeterminate amount of time after the first game. The player wakes up, they're not quite sure what happened. We're going to reveal a little bit of that in some interesting ways coming up here closer to launch. But you kind of get to see the consequences of your action from the first game and reunite with GLaDOS again. So it's kind of, you've made your bed and now you get to lie in it a little bit and see how the world has changed.
Oh boy, I'm really excited. I loved Portal. We all loved, all of us that played it, you people, we all love Portal. We're very excited for Portal 2. When do we get to play it?
Sure. April 19th, it's going to be on the Mac, it's going to be on the PC, Xbox 360, and the PlayStation 3.
Good heavens, April is not that far away. Is there anything else that, in my excited fervor, perhaps I glossed over or didn't punch on something that's phenomenally interesting? Is there anything that I didn't hit that these people should know?
You know, the other big thing that we have is we brought Steamworks to the PS3, so you're going to be able to play between PS3s, Macs, and the PCs. So if you got a buddy on the PC and you want to be on your PS3, you connect up, you play co-op, you're good to go.
So that's huge, because that is not common, this cross-platform.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you personally for that. I really appreciate it, because I'll get it on the PC, but I have a lot of friends that won't have a PC that's going to be good enough to, to play it and be on the Xbox or the PlayStation or whatever. Oh God, this is me brain farting. I'm not going to take up much of your time with my farting, but the other question I had was, as far as the single-player campaign and the multiplayer campaign, is there any sort of crossover? Are there any stages or puzzles in the single-player game that I would be able to play with a partner, or is it one and the other?
It's really one and the other. What we found is you add another pair of portals, and single-player gets really easy. You can pretty much just blow through anything. So it's its own separate track completely, and the stories relate. The stories relate a little bit, but they are separate experiences.
So you mentioned that the stories relate. Obviously I'm going to play both modes, but is there beneficial story plot elements in the co-op that lends itself to a better appreciation of the single player?
Yeah, I think they both reference each other, so playing both gives you kind of more of the complete story of everything together.
Is there one mode that I should play first?
I think single player would probably be the best thing. But if you got a buddy who's really ready to go, you can jump straight into co-op. We wanted to make it so that people really could approach both. So if they really, couldn't wait, they could jump into co-op and still have a lot of fun.
Fantastic. Man, I really appreciate your time, Josh. Thank you so much. Always really looking forward to the game.
It's been a long time. How have you been? I think we can put our differences behind us. For science, you monster.